time, we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team, and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and bets and jets.
What's going on, sports fans? It's your man LJ from Houston. I'm back. Week 10. NFL plays, my best prop bets, and my best sides, and my best totals. I'm giving it all out this Sunday morning, as I do every Sunday morning, NFL Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get right to it. Got a lot of looks, got a lot of sides. You know, I was on Brothers and Bets with my man Marley on Friday night. So we went over the card, pretty much gave our thoughts, but narrowed it down to all my official plays this morning as we kick off this Week 10 NFL slate, ladies and gentlemen. And first game up, we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts. Bills are -4, road favorite. And the total is over under 46.5. And as you tell, I'm on the under 46.5, guys, just because the Bills, 11-4 to the under since 2022 as a road favorite. And that's just something that I can't ignore. It's a trend that's just been cashing for the past couple of years. And 16 out of their last 21 games on the road has gone under. And basically, it all comes down to Indianapolis offense. Joe Flacco, he's back out there. But last game, they were terrible on offense. They only ran the ball 68 yards. And the defense gave up 400 yards versus the Minnesota Vikings. So Buffalo's offense is pretty potent with Josh Allen and the running back cook that he has. So I believe they can move the ball on the Colts, even if it is on the road. And the fact that the road favorites are 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5, been tracking that. And I believe the Bills will eventually prevail in the game, but I don't have to take the spread. I just believe the total goes under because I don't believe the Colts can score enough points to make this total go over. They had 13 points the last game versus the Vikings. So I don't believe they're going to stay under 20. So they may get to 13. They may get to 10. Buffalo may completely dominate this game on the road. So I'm going to stick to the trend that's been happening for the most part past couple years. Bills on the road. We take the under, ladies and gentlemen. So easy play under 46.5 is up rate. Shout out to Flea Mathis. What's up, my guy? Let's get this money. You already know. Let's go to this one, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Minnesota Vikings going on the road to take on Jacksonville. The Vikings are a -7.5. 6.5, I'm sorry. I think it's at 7.5 now. Let me make sure. I did these banners early. Just full disclosure. It's 7, -7. Totals over under 43.5. And basically, what I have in this game is I have Minnesota completely dominating this game for the most part. First of all, another road favorite, 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5. So automatically, I'm going to look at that. And they're also 7-1 against the spread in the first quarter. So I'm going to take them early, and I'm going to take them full game. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, the fact that Trevor Lawrence is now hurt, they're bringing in Mac Jones. It's going to be very, very, very horrific for him today. First of all, the Jacksonville is 0-5 versus teams above 500 for the most part. They haven't won a game, and they're -7 in turnover differential. So they turn the ball over. So I believe Minnesota is going to completely dominate this game. This division completely dominates the AFC South. NFC North is 9-2 straight up versus this division. So, and the NFC on the road versus the AFC at home. 11-5-3 against the spread. So I believe Minnesota completely dominates this game, like I said, and I believe Sam Darnold gets his over 1.5 touchdown passes. Got it at -143. Hey, it's juice, but I think it's worth it. He's going to score 2 touchdowns just because Jacksonville gives up touchdowns. Passing, they've given up a rushing touchdown, 8 out of their last 9. So you can look at Aaron Jones to probably get a touchdown rushing the ball, but the Vikings have only had 4 rushing touchdowns all season. They throw the ball. I'm going to trust Sam Darnold to get 2+ touchdowns, which he's had 7 out of his last 9 games. And Justin Jefferson, you can look at him as well. He's had a receiving touchdown 9 last night. So I say Minnesota dominates completely, and Jacksonville is going to get embarrassed again with their backup quarterback that they're throwing out there to the Wolves. So Vikings, ladies and gentlemen, minus the 7, and we're on Sam Darnold. Over 1.5 touchdown passes, minus 143. Let's go to this one. Pittsburgh going out to the Washington Commanders. Pittsburgh is a plus 2.5 road dog. Over under 45.5. And as you can see, I have the Commanders money line. And it basically boils down to this. I looked at the Steelers' schedule. Last 4 games, they played the Giants, the Jets, the Raiders, and Dallas. That's a 10-25 combined record of those teams that they played. And for the most part, the Commanders, they're 5-1. No, they have 5 wins versus teams below 500. And they basically scored 34 out of their last 35 straight quarters. Now, when I looked at the Steelers, they haven't allowed a team to score in every quarter all season. So this is going to be an interesting, something's going to have to give. And I'm going to trust the Commanders continue to keep scoring, but not necessarily scoring every quarter. But I do respect the Steelers. They're 6-2, 2-0 versus teams above 500. And, they're 7-0 straight up the last 7 off a bye. But this is a new quarterback. Russell Wilson has not played with this team only for this year. So I kind of throw those trends out. And the Commanders are a new team. Jane Daniels is playing outstanding. He's up for Rookie of the Year, definitely. And they're 7-2, 7-1 against the spread. And I just can't ignore that. They're 4-1 at home, 4-0 at home. So the fact that it's 2.5, I don't have to take that. They can win on a walk-off field goal and win by 3 and still cash that spread. But I'd rather just take the money line. I'm going to parlay it with something else that I'm going to mention later. But it all goes back to the divisions dominating certain divisions. And the NFC East versus the AFC North this year is 7-4 straight up. So I'm just going to take Washington to straight up win the game, and honorable mention prop, Terry McLaurin, over 4.5 receptions. I think it's at minus 103. He's had it 3 out of his 4 home games. He has the most targets on the team, most yards, and most receptions. So you can always look at Terry McLaurin, the receiver for the Commanders, but we're just going to stick to the money line, ladies and gentlemen, and trust the Commanders just win the game straight up and outright. Let's get to some comments. Who we got? My man AOD, loyal OG, let's get it. We getting this money. You already know. My man. Let's check this one out. We have the Atlanta Falcons going on the road versus the division to take on the New Orleans Saints. Saints are a plus 3.5 home dog. Total is over under 46.5. Now, when we look at this game, the Falcons have pretty much dominated their division. They are 4-0 versus the NFC South. 3-0 on the road. So they've been pretty much handling business on the road throughout the season. And they're a road favorite, as I mentioned, and it goes back to the trend, 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5. So, and they're averaging 30 points on the road. So that is something that we automatically look at for the most part. And I'm going to trust the Falcons win this game. I'm not going to invest in the side just because it's a divisional game. And the Saints just fired their coach. And I don't know how the locker room is going to respond. They may respond with jubilance and come out and get inspired to be in this game and possibly win it. Or they could just realize that, hey, we're the same players and nothing's changed. We still suck. So, hey, it can either go either way because the Saints still giving up 27 points their last 3 games, giving up 400 yards the last game, I believe. So, no, it's nothing I want to invest in this game simply because Kirk Cousins, you know how people say people are due for a loss. I'm not going to say he's due for a loss, but he may be due for regression for the most part. And like I mentioned, this is a divisional game. So I don't know if the Saints are going to be desperate enough, and I don't want to try to invest in that side to predict that they're not going to try to come out and win this game. So I stayed off a side in the total. I just stick to a prop. I'm going to take the field goal kicker for the Saints. Blake Group, over 1.5 field goals. And simply because the Falcons have allowed over 1.5 field goals 7 out of their last 9 games. And going back to last year, 17 out of their last 22. So that's a consistent trend that I'm going to keep tracking and investing in. And if the Saints stall in the red zone or if they get on the side of the field, they're going to trust their field goal kicker to put up points. It may be a low-scoring game, so that bows in my favor. And another honorable mention for Kirk Cousins. He's had an interception 8 out of his last 10 indoor games. So just something to, remember and track. But all in all, the Falcons are 5-1 versus teams below 500. And the Saints are 2-10 against the spread in the last 12 home games. So nothing I want to invest in there. Just stick to a prop. Let's see if we can cash on the field goal kicker, because the Saints probably the only way they're going to be able to score consistently in this game is the field goal kicker. So let's cash with Blake Group. Over 1.5 field goals. Let's go to this one. We have Broncos plus 7.5 road dog. Going to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 8-0, 2-0 versus the division, 17-1 straight up in their last 18 games versus the Denver Broncos. So Kansas City has pretty much dominated this matchup. But the Broncos have a new quarterback. Granted, he's a rookie. And they're 0-3 versus teams above 500. So I didn't pick a side in this game. Honorable mention, though, Kareem Hunt. Take the touchdown. I have it later. Parlayed with something that I'm going to get to later. But, yeah, Kareem Hunt should get a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes should get 2 touchdown passes. And D-Hop is always a good look. Over 4.5 receptions. I think he's at -103. So I think all those plays are good. I believe Kansas City wins the game. But to win by 8, they don't necessarily have to. And we know when Kansas City at home, they really don't cover spreads. They could have easily lost the last one. So we don't ever trust Kansas City to cover spreads at home. This is a divisional game. I lean under, as I have in the parentheses, but I didn't make it official. But like I said, I just believe Kansas City will still be the team that they are. They look like they're the best team in the NFL. Looks like they're going back to the Super Bowl. Defense is solid. They added D-Hop, the receiver. So the fact that they're still going to they're going to add Pacheco later once he gets healthy with Kareem Hunt, they're just going to be even more potent. So not stepping in front of Kansas City, and I don't trust Bo Nix to cover a spread on the road, rookie quarterback, not at all. So just want to throw that out there. Kansas City, they're pretty much number 1 third down conversions, time of possession. They keep the ball. And when they get the lead, they sit on the lead. So lean under, but didn't make nothing official in this game. But I do have some officials in this game. We have the San Francisco 49ers coming off their bye, ladies and gentlemen, versus the Tampa Bay Bucks, who's coming off a Monday night loss. Well, Sunday night or Monday night. Either way, it was overtime. It was Monday night. Monday night overtime loss versus Kansas City Chiefs. So they're on a short week. 49ers are coming off a bye. Automatically looking at the 49ers. They have the rest advantage. Not to mention, road favorite, 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5. Favor of the 49ers. So, all that said, we're on the 49ers. We're on the -6.5. So, I just completely believe they're going to completely dominate this game. They're getting Christian McCaffrey back, which is their running back that they're pretty much going to need if they're going to make a playoff push. And if he's healthy, they're going to completely run the ball, control the time of possession, and make what's his name for the Tampa Bay Bucks? I'm drawing a blank. Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to make Baker Mayfield beat them with the pass. So, hey, he's been slinging the ball for the most part. He should have 2 touchdown passes, but he probably will have an interception, which I have honorable mention with later on with Kirk Cousins, I mentioned earlier. He's had 9 interceptions. 5 of those interceptions have been at home. So I believe Baker Mayfield is going to sling the ball, but he's going to probably make a mistake. The defense has been reeling. Allowed 34 points last 4 games. So they only averaged 284 total yards last game. So, like I mentioned, they're on a short week, overtime loss, and they lost the last 4 games versus teams with 500 or above. So we're all on the 49ers. I believe it's a smash spot, -6.5. You could take them early as well, but full game I trust. Shanahan, I believe coming off a bye, he has some things up his sleeve that he's going to throw at the Tampa Bay Bucks. So -6.5, and we're on K Cotton over 5.5 receptions for Tampa Bay, just because that's the weapon that Baker Mayfield has been trusting the past couple of weeks since Chris Godwin and Mike Evans has gone down. So you can always trust Kate to get his over 5.5 receptions, but 49 smash spot, ladies and gentlemen. I believe early and often. Let's go to this one. We have the New England Patriots on the road as a dog versus the Chicago Bears, home favorite, -6, over under 38.5. Now, we're going to take the Bears early, first quarter, and we're going to parlay the money line with the Washington. Those are my 2 money line parlays, simply because the Patriots are one of the worst teams in the NFL. 3-8-1 against the spread versus the NFC since 2022. 0-2 versus teams above 500. 2-7 record on the season. Not to mention, they're only averaging 13 points on the road. And their schedule, they've only played 7. They played 7 teams with 500 records or below. The 2 teams that they did were the Texans and the 49ers. And they lost both of those games. Bad, for the most part. And they were down 14-0 in the first quarter versus the Texans. And they were down 6-0 in the first quarter versus the 49ers. So, even if they're down 3-0 in the first quarter versus the Chicago Bears, we win this first quarter -2.5. And I'm going to take it just because the Patriots have never had the lead on the road after the first quarter. And the Bears have never had the lead after the first quarter all season. So I believe that is going to change today. There's been some criticism in the media with the Bears and how they're struggling with their quarterback and their coach. So I believe all these teams hear all these grumblings that the media throws out there, and they want to show them something different. It's about people proving people wrong. So you say we can't do this, we're going to prove that we can. So I believe the Bears come out fast. They're going to score early, and they're going to take the lead going into the second quarter. So let's cash this first quarter -2.5 with the Chicago Bears. Not to mention the Bears at home, 4-0 against the spread. 4-0, their team total over as well at home. 5-2-2 against the spread as a home favorite since 2022. Granted, it's Caleb Williams, but hey, he's already 4-0 against the spread at home already. And they're 3-1 versus teams below 500. Now, the under is a good look as well, just because 9 out of the last 10 games have gone under with the Chicago Bears. And they've held 13 out of the last 14 opponents under 21 points. So I don't believe the Patriots get to 20 points. I believe the game does go under. So I don't have to take the 38.5. You get what I'm saying? I can just take the money line because I believe the Bears win the game. And another trend I've been tracking. Teams that have played the Arizona Cardinals in their last game have gone 16-6 straight up in their last 22 in their very next game. So let's stick to the trend, and let's stick to the fact that the NFC, for the most part, dominates the AFC at home. NFC at home are 17-10 straight up this year. So Bears money line, and take them first quarter -2.5. Let's get to some comments. My man Winetine in the building. What's up, Wine? Let's get this money. Javon Jones, line look funny. I like the Falcons, but I think the better play is Derek Carr over 200 passing yards. The Bucs think they're going to keep. Yeah, hey, I'm not mad at you, but I'm not trying to invest nothing in Derek Carr. My man Justin Mack, let's get it. Stacks. Let's get these stacks today, my guy. For sure. Let's move over to this game. Tennessee Titans on the road. Dog versus the LA Chargers. Chargers are home favorite. -7.5. Over under 38.5. And you see where we're going. Automatically going under 38.5. That's what we're doing. Just because. That's what the Chargers do all season. They go under. The defense is solid. 10 points allowed, ladies and gentlemen, last game. And I think they're only allowing 13 points in the last 3 games. So the Titans are not going to be able to move the ball at all on the Chargers. And even if the Chargers put up 27 points, which they had the last game, Titans maybe put up what? 7, 10? Who knows? I don't know. I don't think they get over 14 points. And I don't think the Chargers have to beat them by the spread to win the game. So I don't care about that. It could be a potential blowout for the Chargers, but like I said, they could still score 21 points, and the Titans can score 10. And that total goes under. So Herbert, 11-1 to the under in his last 12. 19 out of the last 23 games have gone under for the LA Chargers. So they're 4-0 versus teams below 500, 5-1 against the spread as a favorite. So the spread could be in play and it still go under. Titans are just horrible. 1-7 against the spread. They're 2-6 on they're below 500. 0-4 versus teams above 500, averaging 18 points on the road. So they're averaging 18 points on the road. I don't even believe they get to 18. I believe the Chargers keep them under that. They probably get 15 points. You get what I'm saying? If that. And they're -11 in the turnover differential. So they're going to turn the ball over probably. So all that said, man, I'm on the under. 38.5. It's been cashing all year with the Chargers game. So why get off the train now when we already been making money? So easy play for me, under 38.5 in the Charger game. What we got, Matt? What we got? Just Chargers over 23 total. Okay. 24 points? Hey, man. Like I said, they can score 24 points, bro. I'm not mad. I think the Titans get 10. That's 34. We good. We get the under. I'm not mad at that. What we got? What's up there? Did you just sprinkle anything on the morning game? No, I did not take nothing in the Giants and Carolina game. That's overseas. I really don't try to invest nothing overseas because it's a neutral site. You know, ain't no telling what these teams been doing before the game. You know, so nah, Tyreek, I didn't take nothing in the early game, my guy. Tracy, over 8.5 rush receiver. Okay, early game. Okay, I see that. He going to score a touchdown too, probably, because Carolina give up touchdowns. So, yeah, I'm not mad at that play at all, Justin. Go and get that cash, my guy. Who we got next? We have the Philadelphia Eagles. -7.5 versus the Cowboys. Over under 43.5. And the reason why that's ticking is because I got it on a stroll. We're going to save, and we're going to do that. There we go. Over 43.5 total. And basically, as you see the prop I'm taking, even though Dak has been in the game, they've been using their field goal kicker to get field goals. The fact that Dak is out of the game, they're bringing their backup quarterback in. I'm going to trust the field goal kicker even more now because I believe Cooper Rush can move the ball better than Dak Prescott. That's just me personally. But other than that, the offense is still probably going to stall and not score a touchdown. But they're going to trust that field goal kicker to get that field goal. So Brandon Aubrey can have 4 field goals today. But does that mean the Cowboys going to cover the spread or win? Probably not. But I don't have to invest in that because I don't trust the Eagles. But it fits the road favorite, 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5. But the Eagles are 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games. So I'm not going to trust them to come cover the spread, even though everybody's been coming into Dallas Stadium and dominating them. I'm not going to trust it. just because I don't believe in their coach. I believe he's a rah-rah guy. But the Philadelphia Eagles have been playing better. Granted, I see that. But it probably has been the competition that they played. And this is a division game. So you usually throw those records out just because these teams know each other. And for the most part, the Eagles have the advantage on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, simply because the Eagles have rushed for 222 yards their last 3 games, and they've only allowed 64 rushing yards their last 3 games on defense. Mind you, the Dallas Cowboys, we know they can't run the ball. 82 rushing yards in their last 3 games, and they give up rushing yards. They've allowed 169 rushing yards in their last 3 games. So a lot of Saquon Barkley today, which I'm going to get to right here. We're on Saquon over 110 and a half rush plus receiving, guys. We're on him. He's going to run the ball. He's going to catch it out the backfield. The Cowboys have trouble covering running backs. And Saquon is a dynamic running back that knows this division because he played with the Giants. So he's had success versus the Cowboys. It doesn't matter if he's in another uniform. Who cares? Saquon Barkley over 110 and a half rush yards plus receiving. And as you see, we're on Jalen Hurts touchdown as well, because once they get into red zone, they're going to push their way in. They don't have to do anything dynamic. They're down A.J. Brown, I believe. I don't know for sure. I don't have the injury report up, but I believe he was hampered, so he may not play. So they're going to dominate the game on the ground and make Jalen Hurts make decisive decisions and not turn the ball over, because when he doesn't turn the ball over, they win the game. So Jalen Hurts touchdown, he's going to get it. I guarantee, we're not going to guarantee, but more than likely he's going to get it, especially when they get close in the red zone. So those are my props in there. And like I mentioned, Brandon Arbery over 1.5 field goals, because I believe that's the only way Dallas can consistently score points in this game. What we got? Just Donald over 66 rushing. Okay. Hey, let them run on that Eagles defense. I'm teasing the Eagles down with either the 49ers. Okay, man. Like I mentioned, I don't trust the Eagles, bro. I really don't, man. Even though they've been playing well last couple of games, I just can't trust them. It's a division game too. So let's see what they got. Let's go to this one, man. We got the Jets going on the road versus the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals are a home dog. +2, over under 46.5. So the Jets are a road favorite, which fits the trend. 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5. But the Jets are 3-11-1 against the spread in their last 15 games on the road. Not to mention, they're 1-5 versus teams 500 or above. But we look at the Cardinals. You know, they played 8 teams that are 500 or below, and they're 4-4. So they're pretty much even. So Jets being a small road favorite is something that makes me scratch my head, because I don't think they deserve that. The Cardinals can easily win this game. And like I mentioned, AFC on the road versus NFC at home. NFC 17-10 straight up. So the Cardinals have been playing well. And the fact that they have a new system that they're applying the run game very, very well, I believe they probably can run on the Jets today and keep the time of possession in their favor and make Aaron Rodgers play from behind. So I believe that'll be the game plan. And I don't trust Aaron Rodgers to play from behind. Not to mention Aaron Rodgers, interception. He's had an interception in both NFC games this year. And he's had 7 interceptions on the year, and 6 of those have been on the road. He can easily throw one today. So if you want to take that one, like I mentioned with Kirk Cousins, you can parlay it, get some money. But that's just an honorable mention, Aaron Rodgers interception. But I am taking Terry McBride, as y'all see, over 5.5 receptions at +112. Just because the Jets have allowed 3 out of the last 4 tight ends to hit 6+ receptions. So that's a big target for Kyler Murray, and I believe he's going to take advantage of it today. So, yeah, I believe that's going to happen. Trey McBride catches his receptions. Kyler Murray uses him, man. I believe that Arizona wins the game, but I'm not going to take it officially. just because I don't have to. I just want to sit back and watch. And because the Jets are desperate, they're trying to make the playoffs. So I don't know what to expect. Because Arizona coming off a win, that means they've won 3 in a row. They haven't done that in a while. So let's see if the Arizona continue to keep showing us that they can be a consistent winning team. So, but I just stick to the prop. Trey McBride over 5.5 receptions, plus 112. All right. We got to this. Sunday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Detroit Lions. Road favorite, minus 3.5. Texans, home dog, over under 49. Now, we don't use emotions to make money, ladies and gentlemen. Even if it's your team, you have to be optimistic and you have to understand that when it's an advantage, it's an advantage. And the fact that we simply concede that the offensive line cannot protect C.J. Stroud. Detroit Lions are coming in here, possibly the best team in the NFC, and they are rolling right now. Now, all the trends fit the Detroit Lions in this game. Road favorite, 22-6-1 against the spread since week 5. NFC on the road versus AFC at home, 11-5-3 against the spread since week 5. Detroit, 4-0 on the road. They've won 6 in a row. 7-1 against the spread. 7-1 record so far. So, all that. Now, the Texans are 4-0 at home. 8-1 against the spread in the first half. Mind you, Detroit 7-1 against the spread in the first half. So both of these teams are good in the first half. Now, is it going to go under? Is it going to go over? That is something I don't know. Because the Texans put up points early in games. Detroit puts up points early in games. But I believe something has to give this game because these two teams were projected to possibly be in the Super Bowl in the early parts of the season. A lot of people projected these two teams would be right there. But as we see, the Texans are wounded right now. We don't have Nico. He's hampering right now. Don't know if he's going to give it a go. We went down with Stephon Diggs with the injury. So all we have for the most part is Joe Mixon in the backfield. So if Detroit can neutralize the run and make C.J. Stroud pass on them with the pass rush coming, our offensive line is going to have to prove that they can hold up. Now, in the run game, they can run. Joe Mixon gets yards in the run game. So, but is that going to be enough for the Texans to be in this game? I really want the Texans to win this game because it sets up an incredible smash spot next week. But I don't think they can win the game. I believe Detroit is too much of a powerhouse right now. And for the most part, I got props in this game. Amon St. Brown, touchdown. 11-2 in the last 13 on the road. 6 games in a row he's had a touchdown. And we're going with Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdown passes as well. Not to mention, you could even throw Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown out there because he's had that 4 out of his last 5 games. So, but officially, I took Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns, and I'm on Amon St. Brown's anytime touchdown. Now, the Texans side, I'm going to rock with Joe Mixon again. I'm going to trust he gets his touchdown. He's had it in 4 straight games. And I'm going to probably take Fairburn over 1.5 field goals just because he's had that in 5 straight games, 7 out of his last 9. But all that said, and Detroit has allowed over 1.5 field goals 6 out of their 8 games. So if we stall in the red zone, Fairburn can kick a 55, possibly a 60-yard field goal to get us points. So all those props are in play for me. But all that said, I'm on Detroit, guys, minus the 3.5. I believe they cover the spread. I believe they, take control of the game. And the NFC North versus the AFC South, like I mentioned, 9-2 straight up so far on the season. This division is dominating the AFC South. So Detroit can win the game by a touchdown and they cash the spread. But hey, I don't want to trust it. I trust the spread, like I mentioned, and the fact that I can't trust our offensive line right now for the Texans to hold up in the pass. So Detroit, guys, -3.5. Jared Goff, over 1.5 touchdown passes, and St. Brown touchdown are my plays in this game. Let's get to some comments, man. We got my man Razor in the building. What's up, my guy? Top of the morning. I think Arizona is going to upset the Jets. Hey, they can. Not mad at that, Tariq. They possibly can upset them boys, man. You know, the Jets, you know, they have issues. So I'm not mad at that at all. Now, let's get to this one. I have touchdown parlay. We threw one out there last week. I believe we missed it by 1 or 2. Kareem, we had Kyrie Williams, I believe. Or did we have Kyrie Williams? No. We had Alvin Kamara. We had Derrick Henry. And we had Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley cashed. Alvin Kamara did not cash that touchdown, even though he had 200 and some yards rushing, I believe, in that game. But you couldn't get a touchdown. Wow. Hey, it's okay. We're gonna try another one this week. We're gonna take Kareem Hunt's touchdown just because he's had a touchdown 4 games in a row. And I believe they're gonna rely on Kareem Hunt heavy today to run the ball versus the Broncos. So they get in the red zone. He definitely can cash a touchdown today. So I'm going to take Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown. And we're going to take Jonathan Taylor's anytime touchdown versus the Buffalo Bills. Just because he's had a touchdown 9 out of his last 11 home games going back to November of 2022. So, and Buffalo Bills are very vulnerable in the run game. So, you know, they give up the most receptions, the most targets, and I think the most yards to the running back position. And if the Colts are going to be in this game, they're going to have to establish the run game. So Jonathan Taylor can easily get a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown. Just depends on the play call. But I trust he gets it today because he's comfortable at home and Buffalo's vulnerable versus the run. So Jonathan Taylor, guys, anytime touchdown. And, of course, like I mentioned earlier, Mixon. We're going to put his touchdown on there. He's had it in 4 straight games. So, hey, those 3 guys parlayed with the touchdown put you at plus 308. So, that's good money for me. I'm going to ride with that parlay anytime touchdown with those 3 running backs. And like I said earlier, Kirk Cousins over half an interception and Baker over half an interception. I believe one of these guys gets an interception. So, but both of them can possibly get it. You can parlay it. Or take Kirk Cousins by himself and parlay the Baker, you know, however you want to do it, or take them both, however you want to do it. But I believe one of these guys are going to throw an interception, possibly both. So just want to throw that out there. All right, man. That's the show, guys. That is the show. So glad y'all joined me, man. Of course, do this every Sunday morning. Y'all can follow me on YouTube at LjfromHouston right there. Got it scrolling on the screen. Not to mention on X, LJ Sports Media. I put all my plays up, of course, and catch me later on at 10 o'clock Eastern. No, 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern. Jimmy the Bag, Pub Sports Radio on YouTube, giving y'all my best looks today for the NFL. But I'm also going to put them out there on Twitter. And, of course, like I mentioned, follow me at RaWordzPodcast on YouTube, LJ from Houston. Type both of them in, and you completely go up. Fire. Appreciate you, AOD. Let's get it, man. As y'all know, we rock every Sunday. I give y'all my best bets, give y'all my plays, and we can see if we can get this money. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm LJ from H-Town. And like I always say, let's keep cashing.
Yeah, R-A-W, words being served, no concern and no trouble to get that dough. Money on my mind, if it's money all the time, we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsy quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a game. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and vets, injects cash in your pockets.